Hmm, this is going to be a little difficult and tricky because what I did was I took a calculator and I punched in 1 divided by 0, and what I get is an error. I took a larger number, say 15 divided by 0, and I got an error again. Then I took a very large number, say 26,474, and divided that by 0. And hey, that's again an error. And yes, we are going to get an error on the calculator because we know that division by 0 is undefined, which means that in mathematics it hasn't been defined at all. But have you ever thought about it that what if division by 0 were possible? Well, that's what we are going to do in this video. We are going to make it possible and let's see what the result is. Stick around to the end of the video to watch the wonderful conclusion that we reach to. So like I said, we are going to talk about division by 0, which technically in mathematics is undefined. Now, what does that undefined mean? Now, everything in mathematics works upon logic. Now, sometimes that logic does not stand. We are not able to reach a logical conclusion. So when that is the case, it becomes undefined. But why is division by 0 so difficult? Why are we not able to reach a logical conclusion? That is what this video is about. So well, let me start with the number 3 and let me add it a number of times. So 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3. How many 3's do we have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 3's are there. And if we actually add 3 plus 3 gives us 6, 6 plus 3 is 9, 9 plus 3 is 12 and 12 plus 3 is 15. So the answer is going to be 15. Now this is what in mathematics is called repeated addition. And there's another name for it. Repeated addition is also called multiplication. So instead of adding 3 to itself 5 times, we can just say that if we are taking 3 5 times, what are we going to get? So that in multiplication, in simple terms, it can be written as 5 times 3, which means the result is 15. We all know the multiplication tables. So yes, 5 times 3 is 15. Now the inverse of addition is called subtraction, and like we have repeated addition, there is a term known as repeated subtraction also. So in repeated subtraction, we start with this number 15 and we take the number 3 and we start subtracting from 15. And what we need to find out is that how many times can we subtract 3 from 15 to get 0? Well, so we start doing 15 minus 3 gives us 12, 12 minus 3 gives us 9, 9 minus 3 gives us 6, 6 minus 3 gives us 3 and 3 minus 3 gives us 0. And when we count the number of 3's, we see that we have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 3's here. And again, like multiplication, we have a simple way of doing it, and the inverse of multiplication is called division. And this repeated subtraction is what is known as division. So instead of subtracting 3 from it 5 times to get 0, we can just take 15 and we can say that when we divide 15 by 3, we get 5. Now instead of starting with the number 3, we can also start with any other number, say the number 6. What if we add it to itself, say 3 times? So 6 plus 6 plus 6. So 6 plus 6 is 12 and 12 plus 6 is 18. So the answer is 18. And as multiplication, we can also write that 3 times 6, or if we take 6 3 times, we are going to get 18. And when we start doing the repeated subtraction, we can take this number 18 and start subtracting 6 from it. So 18 minus 6 gives us 12, 12 minus 6 gives us 6, 6 minus 6 gives us 0. So when we count, we can see that 18 when divided by 6, we have subtracted it 3 times, so 18 divided by 6 should give us a result of 3. Now in the first case we started with the number 3, then we started with the number 6, but I said I could take any number. What if I take the number 0? Well, so I start with 0, add 0 to it, then add another 0 to it, then add another 0 to it. So basically I've got nothing in hand, I'm taking nothing, then again I take nothing, again I take nothing. So the final result is obviously going to be 0. And no matter how many times I take nothing, I'll be left with nothing. So even if I take it, say a number 264 times, I'll still be left with nothing. It's going to be 0. So we can say that when I took nothing 5 times, I get nothing. And when I take nothing 264 times, I still get nothing. And even if it's a very very large number, say 26,474, if I take nothing for 26,474 times, I still get nothing. So 5 times 0 is 0, 264 times 0 is 0, 26,474 times 0 is 0. So anything multiplied by 0 is 0. We all know that, right? Now, if we look at the first case, we had this multiplication fact, and from this multiplication fact, we can say that this number 0, when divided by 5, should give us this number, which is 0. And same goes for the second equation and the third equation, which gives us the result that 0 divided by any number gives us 0. And we are well aware of that fact too.
Hey guys, sorry for the interruption. I just wanted to interrupt you and tell you that if you're liking the video so far, it would really help me if you could just give a thumbs up to the video, and do not forget to click on the subscribe button. Also, it will help me quite a lot. Thank you. Let's continue.
But it is this fact that makes it a little tricky, and which is called division by 0. What do we get when we divide by 0? Let's start with a very simple number. Say 1. 1 divided by 0. So to understand that, let me take the earlier example where we got 15 divided by 3 gives us 5. That means when we take 3 and add it to itself 5 times, we get 15. Or as a multiplication fact, it can be written as 3 times 5 is equal to 15. Now the question is, what should 1 divided by 0 be equal to? So essentially what we are trying to do is we are going to add 0 to itself. I don't know how many times it's going to be, but the question is that how many times should we add 0 to itself to get the answer as 1? And from the last result, we got that no matter how many times I take nothing, I end up with nothing. So I'm never going to get 1. But like I said, this video is about what if division by 0 were possible. So well, let's try and make it possible, and let's say that this 1 divided by 0 is actually equal to some number x. And if we look at it from the way of repeated subtraction, the question really becomes that x, and if we subtract 0 from it, how many times are we going to subtract 0 so that ultimately we are left with an answer of 0? Well, we all know that if we start with the number x and we take away nothing, no matter how many times we take away nothing, we are just going to be left with the number x.
Nah, that doesn't work.
If you take away nothing 5 times, you're still left with x. If you take away 15 times, you're still left with x. If you take it away 264 times, you're still left with x. Now, like I said, mathematics is all about logic. And everything in mathematics works upon logic. And I have a very logical brain up here. And I also think about logic everywhere. So I thought, why not make division by 0 possible? Why not just for once assume that division by 0 was possible? And I'm sure I'm not the first one to think like that. I'm sure a lot of mathematicians must have already done it the way I am going to do it. But I just wanted to share my ideas with you. And possibly these are the same ideas that the other mathematicians had. Well, we know that division by 0 is not possible. But what if I take the number 1 and divide it by 1? Well, I get 1. So division by 0 is not possible, but what if I make this number smaller and from 1 I go towards 0? What will happen then? So well, I can take a smaller number, so I take 1 and divide it by 0.1. The answer that I get is 10. I take an even smaller number, 1 divided by 0.01, and I get 100. I take an even smaller number, which is 1 divided by 0.001, and I get 1000. I take an even smaller number, a very small number close to 0, which is 0.0001, and what I get is 10,000. So well, what I can see from the pattern that as we come down, as we are dividing it by a smaller and smaller number, the answer that we get is going to become bigger and bigger and bigger. So finally, if we divide by 0, which is a very small number, it is actually so small that it is nothing. So if we divide by 0, we should get a very large number which we don't even have the idea of what that number is going to be. So is it logical for me to say that 1 when I divide it by 0 I should get infinity? Yes, I see that it is perfectly logical. I don't see anything illogical with it, and it is perfectly logical if I do like this. But if it is logical, it should work in some certain other scenarios also. So why not take the number 2 and divide it by 0? Again, we know according to the calculator that's an error. We don't know what it is. But why not approach it using the same way? Let's divide this 2 by 1 and what we get is 2. Let me divide 2 by a smaller number. So we are going towards 0 again from 1. So 2 divided by 0.1 gives us 20. We take an even smaller number, so 2 divided by 0.01 gives us 200. Even smaller number, 2 divided by 0.001 we get 2000. And a very small number, 2 divided by 0.0001 we get 20,000. And again, as the pattern continues, I can see that 2 divided by 0, if we were able to actually come to 0, then 2 divided by 0 should again give me infinity. Yes, that's also logical. And yes, so the logic works. So we know that anything divided by 0 should give us infinity.
Well, but am I sure about it?
Well, let's look at these two results again. So in one case, I got 1 divided by 0 gives us infinity. In the other case, again 2 divided by 0 gives us infinity. And if both are giving me infinity, that means 1 divided by 0 should be equal to 2 divided by 0. And we know that if we take any two numbers, say a and b, and we also know that if we do a divided by x and if that is equal to b divided by x, so since both a and b are being divided by x, the same number, and we are getting the same answer both the times, they are both equal, then it implies that a is equal to b. Now again, in the first case we saw that 1 divided by 0 was equal to 2 divided by 0, which means that both are being divided by the same number. And again, now because of logic, because I'm very logical, I can say that it implies that 1 is equal to 2.
Yes, I got it. 1 is equal to 2. Hey, but what am I saying? Is that even possible?
Well, that is never going to be possible. So obviously these two scenarios that I worked out, they don't work. And if they don't work, I have to try some other approach. So why not get rid of all this and let me think of some other approaches. What could we do? Oh yeah, I've got an idea. So let's say we start with the number line. So where this is 0, we start with the number 1 on this side and negative 1 on this side. And what we did was we started from 1, we were dividing by 1 and we were going towards the left, coming very close to a number to 0. What if I were to start from negative 1 and go right towards 0 and find out what the result is going to be? Well, so I divide 1 by negative 1, I get negative 1. I divide 1 by a larger number this time because this time we are going towards 0 and 0 is greater than negative 1. So I divide 1 by negative 0.1 and what I get is negative 10. I divide 1 by negative 0.01 and I get negative 100. I divide 1 by negative 0.001 and I get negative 1000. I divide 1 by negative 0.0001 and I get negative 10,000. And as the pattern continues, now as I'm dividing it by a smaller and smaller negative number, or in fact a greater and greater number which is going towards 0, what I can see is that the result is becoming smaller and smaller and smaller. And if we were actually going to divide 1 by 0, we are going to get negative infinity. Does that stand to logic? That in the first case, when I divided by 0, I got positive infinity. In the second case, when I'm again dividing by 0, I get negative infinity. My logic goes for a 6. I don't know what to do. How can I divide by the same number and get two completely different results. So, well, when in mathematics something doesn't stand to logic, it is undefined. And it is not because I'm lazy or the mathematicians were lazy who already tried this and say,
Oh, I'm not understanding what to do, and let's say that it's undefined.
no, it's not like that. It is undefined because it is undefinable. We are not able to come to a logical conclusion as to what division by zero should be equal to, because it gives rise to paradoxes that if we divide by the same number, we are getting two completely opposite results, or something totally illogical like 1 is equal to 2. So that doesn't stand to logic. And because it is not logic, that is why division by zero is undefined. Now, I also have some very interesting videos which is linked right up here, which you must watch because that is going to help you a lot. And you also must click on my picture here to subscribe yourself to the channel because I keep doing a lot of this stuff on my channel. And you must watch this video also coming here, recommended by YouTube. And I'm going to see you in these videos. Take care. God bless.